Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be your guide today. If you've ever dreaded an upcoming group project, or if you've just felt totally exhausted by workplace collaborations where you end up feeling completely disconnected from the final result, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, I'm going to hand you the ultimate cheat code for surviving and actually thriving in literally any team setting. We're basing this on some seriously foundational source material to unpack the true meaning of teamwork. And trust me on this, real teamwork goes way, way beyond just checking off your own personal to-do list and logging off for the day. Okay, let's dive right into this. Have you ever found yourself just staring at your screen, totally baffled, asking yourself, I finished my part, why did the project fail? It is hands down one of the most frustrating yet highly relatable scenarios in any modern workplace or classroom. You did everything right on your end. You met your personal deadlines, your research was flawless, your formatting was perfect, you crossed every T, dotted every I. Yet when the final presentation happened, the whole thing just completely bombed. How does that even happen? Why doesn't individual perfection guarantee group success? Well, that brings us to our first major section, the teamwork myth. To understand why projects fail, even when individuals succeed, we really need to unpack this classic rookie mindset. We've basically been conditioned since we were kids to believe that individual completion is the ultimate goal, right? You study hard, you do your homework, you get an A. It feels like a solo sport. But the source material highlights that bringing this solo sport mentality into a shared team setting is actually a massive trap. It limits you and it limits your colleagues. There's just this stark contrast between an individual checking off a beautiful personal to-do list and the reality of a team task ultimately failing. Because checking off your personal tasks doesn't automatically equal project success. In fact, if a team is just a group of people operating in their own isolated silos, entirely disconnected from one another's progress, honestly, failure isn't just a possibility, it's pretty much guaranteed. Which leads us perfectly into section 2, individual versus team success. There's just a world of difference between acting as an isolated individual who just happens to be sitting at a shared table and acting as a true integrated team member in a collaborative environment. Understanding this distinction requires a complete rewiring of how you evaluate your own workday. I want to share a direct quote from the source material that serves as a really powerful reality check. An individual completing their own work does not mean the team task will definitely succeed. This right here is the harsh truth that everyone absolutely needs to internalize. Individual brilliance is practically useless if the collective ship is sinking. Think about it. If you patch the hole right under your specific seat, but the boat goes down anyway, your dry shoes don't really matter in the end, do they? So the absolutely crucial point here is that you have to shift your mindset completely. And why does this matter to you? Because your true value to a team isn't just the sheer output of your specific assignment. It's how your assignment seamlessly integrates with everyone else's. You've got to fundamentally transition from thinking, hey, I just need to do my part and then it's not my problem, to proudly declaring, I am responsible for the team's ultimate success. It's all about taking total ownership of the final product, not just obsessing over your specific piece of the puzzle. All right, let's look at the concrete framework to solve this in section 3, the 4 pillars of teamwork. Now that we've shattered the teamwork myth and established the right mindset, how do we actually put this into practice? Well, the source lays out 4 specific sequential requirements that create a truly successful collaborative environment. First up, we have work division. This is smartly breaking the big goal into manageable pieces based on everyone's strengths. Second is mutual assistance, stepping up when someone else is drowning. Third is communication and coordination. You've got to keep those vital information channels wide open so the left hand always knows what the right hand is doing. And fourth, shared responsibility, agreeing that you're going to win and lose together. Teamwork isn't just one single action. It's a multi-layered, interconnected process. Let's break those 4 pillars down a bit more to truly understand the dynamics at play here. We can actually divide them into 2 categories. First are the mechanical actions, work division, and communication and coordination. These are the logistical, tangible things you do. You assign tasks, you send update emails, you schedule meetings, standard stuff. But then we have the team bonds, mutual assistance, and shared responsibility. These are the cultural elements, the things you feel and embody. The source makes it crystal clear that while the mechanical actions are absolutely necessary, without those team bonds genuinely connecting everyone, like without actually helping each other and owning the final result together, the whole structure is eventually going to collapse under pressure. And that bridges us right into our final section. Section 4, respect and mutual cooperation. So, for those 4 pillars we just talked about to actually stand strong and hold up a major project, there has to be a foundational cultural shift within the group. You can't just mandate teamwork. You have to cultivate the right environment for it to grow. What's really fascinating here is how the source completely redefines the concept of respect to achieve this. Normally, when we hear the word respect, we think of basic workplace politeness, right? Saying please and thank you, showing up on time, not interrupting on a Zoom call. But in a team context, the source elevates this entirely. True respect is defined as an active attitude of mutual assistance and cooperation. It means acknowledging that your colleagues' time and success matter just as much as yours. You pull your own weight for sure, but you also actively step in to help others pull theirs. It's empathy put into immediate action. Let's summarize the ultimate takeaways from our source on how to cultivate this highly effective team attitude in the real world. First, always acknowledge that your work directly affects others. Remember, your delays become their delays. Second, actively step in to offer mutual assistance. Don't just sit back and wait for a crisis to help out. Third, treat your colleagues with that deep, active respect we just redefined. And finally, embrace shared responsibility. That means no finger pointing, absolutely no throwing people under the bus if things go wrong, and fully sharing the applause when things go right. If you master these principles, you are literally setting yourself up to be the most invaluable person in any professional environment. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, kind of provocative thought that completely flips our opening hook on its head. The very next time you finish a big assignment, right before you close your laptop and declare yourself entirely done, I want you to pause. Ask yourself a very different question. Are we finished? Because remember, the project doesn't cross the finish line until the whole team crosses the finish line. So what can you do today to elevate your group from isolated individuals to a truly unified team? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today to explore these concepts, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.